the studios of KSBI Television in Oklahoma City, this is Oklahoma's College and University Academic Challenge Bowl. Teams from your favorite Oklahoma colleges compete for school pride and thousands of dollars in scholarships made possible by the Chickasaw Nation. This is Mind Games with your host, Jennifer Reynolds.
Welcome to Mind Games here on KSBI. This is a high-stakes battle of the brains between Oklahoma college students. Tonight, thousands of dollars in scholarships are on the line, and we want to thank our generous sponsors for making that possible, the Chickasaw Nation and the Oklahoma Energy Resources Board. This is our College Mind Games quarterfinal. These teams are trying to make it onto the semifinal round, so they've all played before. They're veterans of the game. Let's go ahead and meet them again. From OSU OKC, we have Carissa Calhoun. She comes to us from Mustang, Oklahoma, studying nursing. Mindy McGuire is studying horticulture now, comes to us from Nickerson, Kansas. And from all the way out in Fairfax, Virginia, we have Aaron Applewhite, still a general studies major. So welcome to all of you from OSU OKC, and good luck. And from Tulsa Community College, we have Hans Pasco. He's from Tulsa, studying elementary education. Jimmy Carter is from Broken Arrow High School, and he's studying history. Alex Zuniga is studying physics and comes to us from Tulsa, Washington. So welcome to all of you, and good luck. Now, we do have a few rules on this game that we call Mind Games. A couple of rounds of toss-up and bonus questions. In those rounds, players earn money for each correct answer, and that amount goes up in each round. If a team member interrupts a question and gets it wrong, then the other team gets $10. There also, at some point during the game, will be an Oklahoma Energy Resources Board special question that will be worth $10 in the game total and $250 in scholarship money to take home. We also have 2 flash rounds, so get ready to play at home with us. And if our teams are ready, we will get ready to start with a quick flash round. In this case, each team has 30 seconds to answer 10 questions, each worth $10. We flipped a coin before the game to determine who would go first, and OSU OKC won the coin toss. So we've got the clock ready to go. We've got our question set. Here we go. Electra kills Orestes. True. Incorrect. Australia is reintroducing knighthoods.
True.
Correct. The British Houses of Parliament are neo-Gothic.
No.
Incorrect. Wesley Snipes played Marvel Comics' Vampire Blade.
True.
Correct. The first item sold on eBay was a pet rock.
True.
Incorrect. Boxing is also known as the sweet science.
False.
Incorrect. Virga is rain that doesn't touch the ground. Correct. The element tantalum is named after the tarantula.
False.
Correct. Nicaragua has borders.
True.
Huh, you were right. Nicaragua has borders on the Atlantic and Pacific. You had a 50% chance, right? 50% chance, so you might as well take it. Let's correct our false questions first of all. Electra does not kill Orestes. They together kill their mother Clytemnestra, in the Euripides version anyway. The first item sold on eBay was actually a broken laser pointer. The element tantalum is named after the Greek god Tantalus because isolating the pure metal tantalized chemists. All right, so now we move on. Oklahoma City, OSU OKC's on the board, so we turn now to Tulsa Community College. Same drill, guys. We'll have 10 questions in 30 seconds, true or false. Clock's ready. Here we go. The Townsend Acts happened before the Louisiana Purchase.
True.
Correct. To save time and money, UPS drivers run red lights.
False.
Correct. Live free or die is on the license plates in New Hampshire.
True.
Correct. Dozens of people in Guinea have recently died of Ebola.
False.
Incorrect. The biblical Jubilee happened every 14 years.
False.
Correct. Kurtz is a character in Heart of Darkness.
True.
Correct. In Standard Monopoly, the railroads cost $200 each.
True.
Correct. 6 and 7 are 13.
True.
That is correct. All right, let's correct our false statements. To save time and money, UPS drivers avoid left turns, which is much more sensible than running red lights. The biblical Jubilee happened every 50 years, and a bay in a medieval church contained arches and windows. All right, that's our first flash round. We've got everybody on the board. We're going to move on now to our first toss-up. This round will be 6 minutes or 12 questions, whichever comes first. Again, I think everybody's ready. In fact, I know they're ready to go. They are fired up. Our first category is history, and if you'll take a look at your screens, we will get started. This man ruled for 51 years while defeating the Mongols and expanding his kingdom. He was known for bouts... Aaron.
Alexander the Great.
Incorrect. He was known for bouts of extreme paranoia and rage. Name this man the first Tsar of all the... Jimmy?
Ivan the Terrible.
That's right, Ivan the Terrible, the first Tsar of all the Russians. History bonus question now for TCC. What period of Russian history marked by civil wars and poor government began when Ivan IV's heir died with no children?
No answer.
The time of troubles. Pop culture is our next category. Here's your question. Their holding company is Doctors Associates. They have the most... Hans?
Subway.
That's right. They have the most fast food restaurants in the U.S. in 2012, more than Starbucks and McDonald's together. Okay, here's your pop culture bonus question now. Within 10%, how many Subways were there in the U.S. at the end of 2012, the last reporting period?
1,500.
How about 25,000? 25,549 to be exact. Science is your next category. Its quiet period from 1645 to 1715 is known as the Maunder minimum. The stereo probes study its coronal mass ejections and its wind. What spectral class G? Hans?
Sun.
That's right. Object is about 1 AU, astronomical unit, from Earth. Science bonus question now. Its name is from Arabic for direction of the head. It is the direction opposite to local gravity. What is this highest point on the celestial sphere directly above a particular location?
Zenith.
Zenith is correct. Literature is our next category. The question is, name the author who is known first for his horror stories and poetry, but is also considered to have started detective fiction with his... Aaron.
Edgar Allan Poe.
That's right. The Murders in the Rue Morgue. Literature bonus question now for OSU OKC. The Murders in the Rue Morgue is the first appearance of this amateur detective who also appeared in the mystery of Marie Roget and the Purloined Letter. All right, everybody's looking at Aaron and Auguste Dupin. Next question from the category of science. All elements have at least one that is unstable. Mass differences allow for fractional separation. What are these atomic species with the same atomic number but different atomic masses? Alex?
Isotopes.
Correct. Science bonus question now for TCC. For carbon dioxide, this occurs at temperatures above negative 78.5 degrees Celsius at 1 atmosphere pressure. By which process does a substance convert from solid to gas with no intermediate liquid phase?
Evaporation.
Sublimation. That means it's time for our OERB bonus question. We'll start with OSU OKC. Again, you'll have 3 possible answers, and Mindy, you will give me the answer, though you can confer or defer to your teammates. A product of decayed animals and plants under extreme pressure and heat, natural petroleum can be found in what states of matter? A, solid and liquid, B, liquid and gas, or C, all of the above? C, all of the above. All right. TCC, which saturated hydrocarbon occurs most abundantly in natural gas? A, ethene, B, methane, or C, propene?
Methane.
B, methane is correct. Everybody gets it. All right. Geography now. This irregularly shaped country resembles 2 conjoined triangles wrapping around the corner of Mauritania. What is this African nation with the capital at Bamako? I'm sorry, I've got to say your name. Aaron?
Algeria.
Incorrect. Wait, hold on one
I'm
sec.
sorry.
I think it's Jimmy that has... Nope. All right. Can't take it. Jimmy buzzed in. But Hans started answering. All right. So we can't take that. We'll move on to the next question. History is the category. Here we go. This English monarch spent the least amount of time in England of any of its rulers. Jimmy.
Richard I.
Exactly right, or Richard the Lionheart. He was off on the Crusades. History bonus question now. Richard I was one of the leading sovereigns of the Third Crusade, along with what? French rival.
Henry II.
It's actually Philip II. Hard to keep all those guys straight. Fine arts is our next category. Buckaroo Holiday, Choral Nocturne, Saturday Night Waltz, actually Chorale Nocturne, Saturday Night Waltz, and Hoedown are the movements of what Western-themed... Hans?
Square dance.
Incorrect. What Western-themed composition by Aaron Copland? The ballet also has a section called Ranch House Party. Needed rodeo. Literature. It follows a young boy through a rigorous training program designed to prepare children to defend the earth from the... Jimmy?
Ender's Game.
That's right. From the hive-minded alien Formix, the Orson Scott Card novel. Here's your literature bonus question. What type of animal stars in Watership Down?
Whale.
Rabbits, actually. All right, history is our next category. The winning commander of this battle had already written a letter of resignation in case the weather turned against the invasion. Name this largest invasion in the history of the world. Hans.
D-Day.
That's right, or Normandy or Operation Neptune. History bonus question now for TCC. Hitler would not release troops guarding this location to reinforce Normandy due to extensive Allied intelligence operations.
Ardennes Force.
Pas de Calais. All right, that's the end of our first toss-up round, but we have another flash round and our second toss-up round to go as we continue this college quarterfinal game here on Mind Games. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to College Mind Games here on KSBI. This is our quarterfinal round, and we have a match going on between OSU OKC and Tulsa Community College. And we're ready now for our longer flash round. In this round, each team has 1 minute to answer 15 true or false questions, each worth $10. We're going to start with the team in the lead, and that is Tulsa Community College. We've got our clock ready to go. Looks like you guys are ready as well. Here we go. Thackeray wrote Autocrat of the Breakfast Table.
True.
Incorrect. Osiris has a brother and a son named Horus.
False.
Incorrect. Yandex is a Russian search engine.
True.
Correct. More than 100 people were reported missing after a spring mudslide in Washington.
True.
Correct. 4 electrons make a filled orbital.
True.
Incorrect. Judith Leister was an early 20th century painter.
True.
Incorrect. Samuel Tilden got more votes than Rutherford B. Hayes in 1876.
True.
Correct. Victoria Beckham and Melanie Brown were Spice Girls.
True.
Correct. Acetone is the simplest ketone.
True.
Correct. Sukarno was president of Laos.
False.
Correct. Richard Lovelace is a 20th century poet.
True.
Incorrect. Lake Agassiz was once covered part of Saskatchewan.
True.
Correct. Henry Frick worked for Carnegie Steel.
True.
Correct. The trivium were the subjects medievals thought unimportant.
False.
Correct. 18th century intermezzo compositions were often comedic.
True.
Correct. Got all 15 in there. Let's correct our false statements. Thackeray was not who wrote Autocrat of the Breakfast Table. It was Oliver Wendell Holmes. There are 2 electrons to fill an orbital. Judith Leister was a 17th century painter. Sukarno was president of Indonesia. Richard Lovelace was a 17th century cavalier poet. And the trivium were the subjects that medievals taught first: grammar, logic, and rhetoric. All right, we turn now to OSU OKC as we continue our flash round. Again, 15 questions, 60 seconds, true or false. Clock's ready. Here we go. Unplugged is an MTV show.
True.
Correct. Pergolesi died of tuberculosis.
True.
Correct. New York's Guggenheim has colorful exposed exterior piping.
False.
Correct. John Cheever wrote The Swimmer.
True.
Correct. The Spanish flu epidemic was bacterial.
True.
Incorrect. In our solar system, all giant planets have rings.
True.
Correct. Imminent is the opposite of transcendent.
False.
Incorrect. Tanya Harding had her knee clubbed in 1994. Correct. Pixie sticks are sold under the Wonka brand.
True.
Correct. Fashion designer L. Ren Scott was dating Paul McCartney when she died.
True.
Incorrect. Dark Island is on the St. Lawrence Seaway.
True.
Correct. The Freedmen's Savings Bank operated for 30 years.
False.
Correct. John Neihardt published Black Elk Speaks.
True.
Correct. Zachary Taylor fought at the Battle of Palo Alto.
True.
Correct. Billy Pilgrim is a protagonist of White Noise.
True.
Incorrect on that one. New York's Guggenheim is not the one with the exposed exterior piping. Actually, it is the Pompidou Center. The Spanish flu epidemic was viral, not bacterial. Tanya Harding didn't get her knee clubbed. It was Nancy Kerrigan. Fashion designer L. Ren Scott was dating Mick Jagger when she died. The Freedmen's Savings Bank operated for 9 years rather than 30. And Billy Pilgrim is a protagonist of Slaughterhouse-Five. All right, she made up some ground there. Game's getting closer. We'll be back in just a moment with our final toss-up round as Mind Games College Edition quarterfinals competition continues. Be right back. Welcome back to Mind Games College Edition. This is a quarterfinal round of our Mind Games competition this spring. Let me introduce a couple of new players. From Tulsa Community College, we have Casey Johnson from Sand Springs. She is studying mortuary. And for OSU OKC, we have Lexi Green. She was home educated. She's from Edmond, studying radiologic technology. So welcome to both of them. It's time now for our second round of toss-up questions. This will be 5 minutes or 11 questions, whichever comes first. A reminder, either team can toss in. This will be when you use your buzzers. If everybody's ready to go, we will get started with the topic of humanities. And here is the question. The process for these is included in Article 5 of the Constitution, requiring a supermajority of both Congress and the states for ratification. What are these modifications to the Constitution? Jimmy?
Amendments.
Right. Modifications to the Constitution. Humanities bonus question now. How many amendments have been added to the U.S. Constitution?
17.
Needed 27. All right. Pop culture's next category. The subject of the song was Miss DiCrescenzo, a nationally ranked cross-country runner. Though he didn't get the girl, what song earned the Plain White T's a Song of the Year Grammy nomination in 2008? Jimmy?
Hey there, Delilah.
That's right. Hey there, Delilah. Pop culture bonus question now for TCC. The Grammy-winning Song of the Year in 2008 references Ray Charles and Donny Hathaway in its lyrics. What was this song whose title was something the singer needed before her July 2011 death?
Rehab.
Rehab is right. Okay, literature's our next category. Name the Arthurian knight whose destiny is to find the Holy Grail with Sir Percival. This prophecy is revealed when he successfully sits in the Siege Perilous. Jimmy?
Bedivere.
Incorrect. Mindy?
Lancelot.
Oh, we needed Galahad. Okay. Humanities is the next category. What term derived from Sanskrit for country has been gaining popularity as a way for young... Aaron?
Israel.
Incorrect. A young people of South Asian ethnicity to describe themselves and their culture. There was some conferring going on. So this question's over. Do we go ahead and give OSU OKC still has a chance, or we're done? We're done on this question. All right, we move on now to the next. The answer, incidentally, was Desi, D-E-S-I. Literature is the next category. What Tuscan poet of the early Italian Renaissance was called the father of humanism? Aaron?
Michelangelo.
Incorrect. Petrarch. Science is the next category. Examples include binary compounds like gallium arsenide and group 14 elements with impurities like doped silicon. What are these materials whose resistivity is between that of metals and insulators? Jimmy?
Superconductors.
Incorrect. Aaron? A little bit of a blurt there. Let me call your name, Aaron. No, we needed semiconductors. All right. Current events is the next category. What theme park has an associated neighborhood of million-dollar homes called Golden Oak, where you can opt for wallpaper with hidden Mickey ears? Jimmy?
Disney World.
Right, Disney World. Current events bonus question. The Golden Oak community is named after the Disney family's resort in what U.S. state?
California.
That's right, California. Science is the next category. This happens at a constant speed when there is a change in direction. It happens when a force acts on a mass as described by Newton's second law. What is this time derivative of velocity? Hans?
Momentum.
Incorrect. Acceleration. Take a look at your screens for your fine arts question. Represented here by black lines, this skeleton of a sculpture serves as a base for shaping and supporting the artwork. What is this A word? Mindy?
Architecture.
Incorrect. Jimmy?
A-frame.
Armature. History. What movement named after a founding document advocated a secret ballot and a variety of English parliamentary reforms for a decade beginning in 1838? The Chartist movement. Geography is the next category. What country that also borders Austria and the Czech Republic has the only land border with Denmark? Mindy.
Germany?
That's correct. Geography bonus question now. Order the following German cities from north to south: Heidelberg, Munich, Berlin.
Heidelberg, Berlin, Munich.
Needed Berlin, Heidelberg, Munich. All right. That was the final question. We got all the way to the last question, and we know our winners. Moving on from our quarterfinal round to the semifinal round, we'll tell you how you can see Tulsa Community College again in our Mind Games College Tournament when we come back. Welcome back to Mind Games College Edition. Congratulations to Tulsa Community College for moving on from our quarterfinal round to the semifinal round in our spring tournament. That's the total that we had at the end of the game, but there is that additional OERB money. Both teams got their special questions right, so they will be taking home additional funds as well. Congratulations to everybody on that. We want to remind you that you can find out when TCC will be back in our tournament again, get a complete schedule of our college and our high school games just by going to ksbitv.com. Until then, we want to thank you for watching and playing Mind Games.
Mind Games is a production of KSBI Television in Oklahoma City, made possible by the Chickasaw Nation.